Hey, bookworms. Sorry if you hear my cat eating. She'll finish in a bit, but she's kind of doing her thing right now. So, I want to chit chat a little bit about dreams. I have this dream dictionary. This is the Dream Dictionary from A to Z by Theresa Cheung. See that? Okay. So, I'm not gonna really go into, I don't know, there's no order to it really. I'm just gonna close my eyes and flip through them and see what comes up. And it'll be really cool if you have experienced any of these dreams, and then you can tell me about it. Or I don't know, I'm so that person that loves to listen to dreams. I don't know, I've always had really strange dreams. I mean, I wouldn't say I remember every single dream every night, right? There's sometimes when I wake up because I didn't sleep well or tossed and turned a lot and I didn't dream. And there's other times where I've tossed and turned a lot, and every time I'm getting back to sleep, I dream. And I don't know, I just find dreams so fascinating, and I love when people tell me about their dreams. I also have I read tarot cards and stuff, so I offer that dream interpretation, and I've had friends tell me hey, or other clients really that have said, I'm dreaming about a person or a situation, or I had this dream that I feel really connected to, and they don't want to tell me everything because they want to see what comes up in the reading. So that's one of my favorite things to do. Of course, I'll read anything for anybody. It's whatever, but I love hearing people's dreams, and I love trying to interpret it. What could it mean? Because they're just so strange, you know? It's when you think about a nightmare or, something like that, I find it so fascinating that even your own mind can scare you. It's kind of odd, right? But I mean, nobody wants to have a nightmare, of course, but your own mind can make you it's like a movie you've never seen before, but your own mind is doing it. And I just find it so cool and fascinating. And one of my cats is just staring at me talk. She's probably like, who is this crazy girl talking to? But anyway, I just really love dreams, and that's partially why I have this. I've had other books in the past, but I give a lot of books away or whatever. So I'm just gonna kind of see what's up, see what we land on. See. Okay, I'm going to pee. There's a few here, so let's look at photograph. It's right there. It says, photos and dreams represent some aspect of yourself that you need to be looking at. Perhaps your younger self or a part of yourself that you have grown out of but need to understand. If you're developing photos, this suggests discovering hidden talents or abilities. If you are looking at family photos or an album, this refers to an appreciation of past influences in your life. If the photo is of yourself, this suggests you need to take an objective look at yourself, especially if you are given the photo in your dream. You need to stand back and see clearly. If the photo is of someone you know, perhaps you need to look at that person's qualities and make use of those qualities yourself. If the photo in your dream come to life, this indicates your continuing involvement in what the picture depicts, or the past as a whole is still influencing you. That's interesting. Okay. If you are taking a photograph, this suggests that you need to remember or take notice of something. If you are using a camera in your dreams, this might suggest that you need to remember what is important in your life and perhaps take more notice of certain situations or people. You may have noticed something out of the corner of your eye, but not yet have processed it into walking consciousness. Okay? If you are being filmed or having your picture taken, you need to take a careful look at your thoughts and responses to certain situations. If the photographs are not familiar to you, your dream may have been signifying an aspect of yourself or your sense of direction in waking life. Was the photo clear or out of focus? This may signify how certain or uncertain you are of your attitudes. If you are taking the photograph, this suggests that you feel in control of your daily life. That's cool. If you are studying a negative or are in a photographic darkroom, this suggests negativity in your daily life, but you may also simply be waiting to see what will develop. If the photos come to life, this suggests the living influence of past experience and your continuing involvement in what the picture depicts. Talking photos suggest that you need to remember or take notice of someone or something in your waking life. That's really interesting because, I don't know, I feel like in my dreams, I can never really use technology. Like when I'm trying to use my phone, it doesn't like call out or I can't see the text. I don't know that I've ever taken a picture in a dream. Maybe I haven't, I just don't remember it, but like it's really interesting. Okay. Let's try again. Okay. This one says here, it says hat, cap, hood, turban. Okay. For Young, I think they're talking about Carl Jung, but it's like pronounced. Is it Carl Jung or Carl Jung? Please don't make fun of me. Okay. For Jung, hats symbolize thought. So if you are changing hats in your dream, this may be a sign of personal growth, where long-held views are old hat and new ideas are developing. Freud, on the other hand, believed that the hat was a sexual symbol. Of course he did. Literally. Like, Freud, chill out. Okay. Nowadays, it is more likely to be seen as a symbol of authority. Although, if you take your hat off to someone in a dream, you are showing them your respect. In general, dream hats suggest intelligence and aspirations. Your thinking cap, because they are worn on the head. If your hat is taller or grander than everyone else's in the dream, what could the aim of your unconscious be to set you apart in this way? Did you tip your hat in the dream, or perhaps because you have been accused of having ideas above your station, was it knocked off? If you're wearing a crown, do you feel that you deserve the acclaim of others in waking life? Headgear is also associated with allegiance to a profession, team, or particular roles in your life. For example, a judge's wig suggests justice. Your dream may be suggesting that you can learn much from the qualities displayed by that role. If the hat is a helmet, this is a symbol of protection. A dream of wearing a hood may suggest secrecy and concealment. Although they also hint at flirtatious behavior, fans don't protect but hide the face, as do veils, which furthermore have connotations with grief and mystery. And hoods, which also have connotations with death. So if any of these accessories feature in your dream, see if you can make any connections with your waking world. From whom or what are you trying to hide? For the devout Muslim or Sikh, turbans are symbols of authority, strength, and dignity. For those outside these religions, the turban may be associated with mysteries of the East, and thus can represent spiritual aspirations, as well as a sense of the exotic and desire for more excitement in everyday life. It may also draw the dreamer's attention to a male authority figure. Okay, that's cool. Hats, not really coming to my mind if I've had like specific dreams where I like notice a hat. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got M. So let's do mountain. Major obstacles and challenges within your life are represented by mountains in dreams. If you appear on the top of the mountain, it means that you have conquered any obstacles or that you have reached goals that you have set for yourself. The way that you are climbing the mountain will tell you how well you are dealing with the problems, and the appearance of difficulties will all have significance. Mountains are also a symbol for spiritual youth. If you are climbing a mountain in your dream, it signifies that you are a determined and ambitious person. Falling off a mountain in your dreams means that you are tempted to give up on things when the going gets tough. According to Freud, the image of a mountain in a dream represents female sexuality because their contours and profile resemble a woman's chest. Freud, you really need to chill out. Like, this guy was just like bricked up all the time. Okay. For Jung, I'm gonna call him Jung. I think it's Carl Jung. I don't think it's Jung. I should know that, and I don't. Okay. For Jung, mountaintops offer an overview of your progress, and looking at a peak from below indicates the vast challenge offered by the process of self-discovery. Yeah, he's not bricked up like Freud. Okay, let's see another one. Okay, let's see. I guess let's do curtains. Just curtains down here because they all give you these like little sub-genres as well. Like, for example, cushion, it says see chair. So like we'd have to go back and see chair. I'm just picking one that's on here. Curtains. Closing curtains or drapes in your dream may mean that you are unable to face up to a certain situation or problem, or that you do not know what is going on around you. On the other hand, it may mean that you are being secretive and do not want other people to know how you are feeling. Dreams that feature closed curtains can suggest a sense that you are trying to block out a problem in waking life, or perhaps feel the need for secrecy relating to a certain issue. If the curtains are open in your dream, you may be feeling generous or ready to share information. Well, I'm definitely never going to dream about open curtains. Just kidding. Okay, let's see. S. I don't know, S. Okay. These are all a little inappropriate to talk about on here. Yeah. So I'm gonna flip again. If you have this book, I want you to go to page 454 and 455, and you will know what I'm talking about, that they're a little inappropriate. Not for like people in general, but just for this. Okay. Okay. F. Let's do fish species. Individual fish species impart their own meaning to dreamers. Pay particular attention to the color of the fish, and this will add to the interpretation. For example, a purple fish connotes spirituality. When interpreting the meaning of specific fish in your dreams, it is also important to bear in mind cultural associations with certain type of fish. that may imbue them with extra meaning. For example, if you are familiar with Japanese lore, you may equate carp with courage, love, or good luck. The dream carp could, however, be pointing to your tendency to carp on or nag at somebody in waking life. Here we go with Freud again. While for Freudians, all fish are phallic symbols, the dream image of cod may suggest yearning for a homely situation, as cod is basic food for lunch or supper. Nobody says supper anymore. We say dinner, right? Like, I don't know, I'm from Texas. Okay. Because of its legendary instinct to find distant spawning grounds, to dream of salmon swimming upstream suggests that home and family are always paramount in your mind, no matter how far you travel. Dream salmon can also suggest single-minded persistence and wisdom. In folklore, solitary trout were sometimes regarded as guardians of the pool, and to dream of these fish offers encouragement that you will rise to the top of your chosen profession. An eel in a dream may symbolize a slippery acquaintance, someone who makes you feel uncomfortable because they are not to be trusted. Oh, that's why Ursula in The Little Mermaid, she had the eels, right? Because they were like slimy. Makes sense. Here we go with Freud again. According to Freudians, the eel represents temptation and sexual desires. Dreaming of numerous eels writhing in the water therefore symbolizes a longing for when you're doing the thing and you reach the peak, right before it ends. If you manage to catch an eel in the dream, this may be a sign of good fortune. Your good luck may be tempered if you cannot hold your dream eel in your hands and it slips away from you. If the eel is wriggling and it is a warning that someone of the opposite sex may be trying to impress you, but may have less than honorable intentions. Okay. Jellyfish may suggest feelings arising from the unconscious that are painful, as well as sense of helplessness or spinelessness. If jellyfish appear in your dream, you may feel that you're unsupported at an emotional level. On the other hand, it could imply a sense of drifting aimlessly, lacking backbone, and being spineless in some way. A starfish carries the same symbolism as a star, but represents your physical expression or manifestation of your level of connection to your universal source. I guess that could be God or something like it, whatever it is that you believe in the universe, right? I guess. Okay. If sea bass appears in your dream, they may refer to spiritual talents and the generous sharing of them. A pike also refers to spiritual nourishment, whereas a trout denotes a satisfaction with your spiritual development. To dream of catfish can denote a catty, pretentious, or arrogant attitude towards your spirituality, while clownfish suggests foolish factors connected to your spiritual development. Because of its association with the term ray of light, a manta ray in your dream may suggest moments of inspiration or intuition. A sea anemone may represent spiritual destiny. Sea urchins suggest spiritual immaturity, while seahorses relate to spiritual beliefs that are more grounded in fantasy than reality. Okay, so fish are pretty cool, right? We can all agree. Let's get another one. Let's do, well, these are kind of short, so let's do bird color. The colors as well as the general interpretation for birds are significant here. For example, blackbirds represent one's shadow side and white birds one's open, expressive, and free side, while golden winged birds represent ambition. A display of plumage represents the way you see yourself. If the plumage is the plumage, a gorgeous display of vibrant color, or a disappointing shade of shabby brown. Okay, what's wrong with shabby brown? All right, we'll do bird's egg. Bird's egg, often a symbol of money in dreams, as in nest egg. Well, that makes sense. The condition that the egg is in will say a lot about your current financial situation or your dreams of financial success. A clutch of eggs can also represent your wish to have a large family or represent the dawning of a new, exciting idea. If the eggs are smashed, have your dreams and hopes been smashed in some way? Oh, do I have a story for you? If you dream of hatching birds, this may suggest the birth of new ideas, projects, and relationships. While if baby birds appear in a dream, they are usually symbols of childhood and new beginning. Okay? Let's do caged bird. Caged bird. This can indicate restraint or entrapment or feeling stuck in a job, lifestyle, or relationship. Is your freedom somehow restricted in waking life? Are your inhibitions stopping you from expressing your personality? Is your job a humdrum? Is your partner possessive? If you open the door in your dream and let the bird out to fly away with joy in your heart, this is almost certainly a message from your unconscious to take steps in waking life to release yourself from restrictions and or inhibitions. If the bird wouldn't or couldn't fly away, are you putting limitations on yourself? If the bird's wings were clipped and someone deliberately holding you back? Freeing a bird from its cage relates to expressing your emotions. If the bird in the cage is a pet bird, this often suggests happy memories. Okay, that's cute. Let's see. Let's do one more. Okay, we got M. Mermaid. That's weird because I brought up the Little Mermaid, right? Okay. Mermaid. The sea temptress combines beauty with vanity and lures sailors to their doom. For male dreamers, mermaids and sirens represent the image of a woman whom he feels he could love, but who may reject and destroy him. To dream that you follow her siren song suggests shallow willpower or being easily misled by lust and base position. So potent is the myth that the word siren is today used to describe both heartless, treacherous, dangerous, but irresistibly seductive woman. Alternatively, the mermaid may represent your anima, the feminine part of your personality, who by leading you out to sea is encouraging you to explore the depths of your own emotions. Traditionally, the mermaid or merman belongs to the sea as well as the land, and this symbolically represents an ability to be deeply emotional and deeply practical at the same time. In a woman's dream, the mermaid is thought to represent a love rival. He's cheating. He's always cheating. Finally, mermaids and mermen are feminine and masculine images of the link between darker forces you may not understand and your conscious self. Many stories tell of the difficulties of mating with a creature from the sea, showing how difficult it can be to unite the two sides of our nature. Okay, that's cool. I think these were like really cool ideas because, like, how do some people have these reoccurring dreams, right? Like, what is it about dreams that people kind of like? I mean, I guess I could read all of this, right? Like the introduction, but it's just like so interesting to me that enough people have had these dreams. My cat is staring at me again. Enough people have had these dreams that they were able to compile them into a book and say, like, yeah, and I understand that they're using symbolism as well, right? Like, I understand that there is, more to it than just a bunch of people having these dreams and then either a sleep study or a dream study or just literature over time or whatever. Like, I get all that, but it doesn't change how I feel about just like dreams in general, like just the fact that we can dream. And my little cat is walking over here, but even they dream. Sometimes I'll see my cats like laying around together and or lounging or whatever, and I can tell that they're dreaming because they're kind of twitching or they're making sounds or they're like moving their little paws. Like, it's very cute. Very, very cute. So it's just gonna be a short little video. I just wanted to chit chat. Oh, here she is, Suki. Suki wanted to come in and talk to everybody. My little Suki. Suki wants to dream. Suki thinks about dreams. Suki's a dreamer. Yeah, it's just gonna be okay. It's just gonna be a shorter little video. I just wanted to chit chat about dreams because I find them so interesting. Like, it's like one of my favorite topics. If anybody in my life is like, I had a weird dream, I'm like the first person to be like, what's it about? What's going on? I've had 3 apocalyptic dreams, and I'm not necessarily like, I'm not a religious person or anything. I did grow up in a very religious community, though. Maybe that's why now I'm like, I like to just keep my mind open to all different things and different, try to understand the world in a different way, and maybe that had that effect on me. It didn't make me run towards religion. It kind of made me, but not in a disrespectful way. I thought, well, if this is the way, one group of people think, what about other people? Like, how do they grow up? And it just always kept me like, every time I would meet somebody and they would tell me that they were of said religion or something else, I just wanted to know about it. I thought it was really cool, right? But anyway, the apocalyptic dreams that I've had, it's funny because I've had 3, and but when I had the second one, I noticed that I was barefoot, because in the first one I was barefoot, the second one I was barefoot. So when I had the third one, I remember, and that's how they start. I'm looking down and I see my feet. In the second dream, I was getting off of my bed. So, like, I take it as like I'm unprepared. But anyway, after the second one, when I had the third one, I was looking at my feet and I thought, oh, this is going to be an apocalypse dream. It was like this conscious understanding that I was in the dream. And it's just always been so weird to me, I love dreams. I know I've stated that 1,000 times at this point, if you've made it this far in the video. But yeah, I like them. I like talking about dreams. I like listening to people's dreams. I like just the whole idea of going to sleep and waking up in another world. I have had a lucid dream before. I don't know if it was a lucid dream or if it was astral projection, but when I've looked into them, it's closer to a lucid dream. The only thing, though, is I didn't realize it was a lucid dream. I had a dream. I don't know, it had to be like a young, like maybe preteen. I might have been 11 or 12 or something. I don't remember the exact age, but I had this one dream and it was really weird. And there was like people that I remember and stuff that I recognized, whatever. So it kind of stuck with me. And then years later, like I was like, I don't know, it had to be at least like 7 to 10 years later. I don't remember exactly the timeline, but I had a dream and I was in the same place I was in that other dream. However, in that other dream, I don't think I'd ever been there in real life. Like, I don't, I think it was in the dream I knew the place I was at. Like, I was at a house, but I didn't know, like, in real life, like that house. So years later, when I had this lucid dream, or so I think it was, I was in that house. Only this time I went inside. In the other one, I didn't go inside. I was outside. So it was really interesting because, you know what? In the last one, I made it to the porch. That's what it was. I made it to the porch, but I was still outside and I could see inside the window. So in the lucid dream, I saw the house, I approached the porch, but I opened the door and I went inside. It was really weird. And I don't feel like I was controlling it. That's why I'm like, was it a lucid dream? Because I could be wrong, but I think lucid dreams, like you are aware that you're controlling it. I'm not sure. But anyway, it was just so weird to me that I was like, oh, I know this place. Like in my lucid dream, I was like, yeah, I recognize where I'm at. So strange. But yeah, I really love dreams. And I love just the fact that we can do them, that we can have them. That's something that our consciousness and our brain just like makes happen. And I also love when I dream about something and then I see it like in a synchronicity. Like I'm thinking, I just had a dream about that. Oh my gosh, it's so weird. Like that's kind of rare. That doesn't happen to me all the time. But when it has happened, I'm like super excited. So I don't know, I guess I could talk about this topic forever and really get into all of it. And I have some other like symbolism books and like other weird books, but I just wanted to chit chat about this one a little bit. Just kind of, go through some stuff. So, yeah, I hope that you found some of that interesting, and maybe I'll do it again and flip through and just find a few more because it's a pretty thick book. There's a lot of different dreams in there, and I could go into all of it. And I hope that if you are using this video to drift off to sleep, that you have the coolest dreams, and then you comment your dream. So, yeah, I will catch you later, bookworms. Sweet dreams.